Hey everybody, it's Preston here, aka Godzilla Hawk, and welcome to your NXT Takeover in your house. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The return of the old classic pay-per-view 25 years ago in your house. Returned for a special NXT Takeover. Now, I am a little tired, so I'm just going to go through some of the brief details here on the match card and what I thought about the show. Which, by the way, this is not a thumbs down show. I want to get that out of the way right now. It's not a thumbs down show, but this is what I thought needed some more tweaks. But first of all, let's talk about the in your house stuff. First of all, they did the whole commercial stuff, advertisers in between. They filmed it almost like at least commercial wise, like an old school in your house show back in the 90s. So I really like that touch. Also the stage, the set itself. Thank God. I love that. I love the set. It was the in your house setting. They had the house, the giant window. They had the giant big garage where that was the entrance. So I really love the set. It really made you feel like you're watching in your house pay-per-view, which I do appreciate. Now, they did have some of the NXT talent in the glass barricades for the show. So with that in mind, we'll go ahead and get just right down the middle. Like I said, I'm not going to go into every single little detail because personally, I didn't get a lot of the references, stuff like that. So apologize in advance, but like I said, I'm tired. So trying to do this as short, sweet, but get to the points. So they go to the opening, the 6-woman tag match. Sorry. Mia, Shotzi Blackheart, and Tegan Knox defeated Candice LeRae, Dakota, and Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Gonzalez. I'm just going to call her Gonzalez. I'm getting tongue-tied here. One sec. Sorry about that, guys. My back of my mouth is getting kind of sticky in the back. Personally, it was a fine match. I do think that NXT Tag Titles should have been on the show. I really do think that would have been more preferred. But at the same time, my girl Shotzi, I am big fan of her. So I've been big fans of her since down here in the Bay Area. Since she ended up working with WZ on one of the shows. I got to call her, get to one of the shows, so that was pretty cool to get. But Shotzi Blackheart, some people might not get her, but she's really good. She's very charismatic. And she's already starting to become a fan favorite, which is a good thing. Shotzi is one of those personalities you need to really keep your eye on. Again, the match itself, though, was a simple six-man tag team match. Nothing really special. Personally, you could just say this for NXT next week. I would prefer that. But at the same time, like I said, Shotzi, her first takeover, getting a win. I can't really complain about that too much. Me and Candice LeRae, they're having beef, and they brought to the garage area, and then the babyfaces get a victory. I mean, that's really it. I mean, there's nothing really else to really say about this match. There wasn't really anything cool spotted or anything like that, other than the babyfaces won. Next match, we got Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. When this match was announced, that was like one of the big question mark matches. Like, it's kind of weird pairing. Like, they're doing this match. Not saying that this match was bad or anything. This was going to be bad, but I just thought looking at this match, it felt off. I don't know if anybody felt the same way. It just felt like, this doesn't feel like a takeover match. I was like, but it'll be a good match, so I kept my eyes on it. I have to listen to other people's judgment. I have to go back and watch, but this might have been match tonight. I think it might have. I think these two, for 13 minutes, these two did a lot. Hard hitting, hard striking, near falls, countering, just hard striking maneuvers. The end of the spot was we thought Damian Priest looked like he was going to go for a razor's edge on some stairs on the outside that he set up. And Balor not only got out of the way and countered it, he shoved Priest. And Priest bounced. When I said he bounced off like the edge of the stairs. It sucked. That looked like it sucked bad for Priest. So I gotta give Damian Priest for taking that kind of abuse. Like, holy shit, just go back and watch that spot. That sucked. But in the end, Finn Balor ended up winning with the coup de grace. He hit coup de grace on the back of the head, then hit a normal coup de grace for the win. So Finn Balor won. I think it was kind of no surprise there for Finn Balor to win. But Damian Priest had a very good showing this match with Finn Balor. Now, are they going to have a rematch? I don't know. But I mean, it was a good effort for both these guys. So can't be too disappointed for having a really fun, hard-hitting match. Next match, Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. So, first of all, I have no idea what Gargano's ring gear was. I was trying to figure that out. Like, what's Johnny Gargano's ring gear supposed to be? So I was trying to figure that out. So when you hear Keith Lee and Johnny Gargano, in your mind, you're automatically picturing this is going to be a PWG style match. This is what I was thinking too. Maybe not to that extent, but I was expecting a lot more wrestling. Well, not wrestling, but more hard impact, athletic stuff. That's what I kind of expected. This was like the AJ Styles Shinsuke Nakamura from WrestleMania 34. Where we know how good these guys are. We know these guys can have an excellent, outstanding match. We've seen them before. But it was kind of a letdown. I get what they were going for. They were trying to go for more storytelling. You know, Johnny Gargano was working over the eyes and the hand from the attack they did on Wednesday. You know, trying to submit Keith Lee, trying to punish him. So I get the story they were trying to tell, and I do appreciate that. But when you have Johnny Wrestling and Keith Lee at Takeover, you expected them to have a Takeover match. This did not feel like a Takeover match. I don't know how anybody else felt about this, but when I was watching it, I didn't feel like I was watching an NXT Takeover match. It felt like just an episode of NXT. It almost felt like a starter for their feud, which could be. It could be a starter for their feud. But it felt like it didn't start getting going until like the last 5 minutes. So it was very weird. It was very odd. The match itself was not bad. I want to say it wasn't bad. It was good. But I did feel a little left down a bit. I kind of wish they did more. When you have these two competitors and what they're capable of, I expected more, and I kind of wish we got more. So if they decide to maybe do a rematch somewhere down the line, then we need to have a way better match, because I thought this match was kind of a letdown. Yeah, this match wasn't bad, but it just, knowing what these two were capable of, it could have been way better. 100 times better. But Keith Lee ended up retaining, being Johnny Gargano. Which was kind of fine, but at the same time, what happened in the next match is now kind of getting me kind of confused, like, where are they going to go from here? And I'll explain why. We got Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream and the backlot brawl for the NXT Championship. So first of all, I was surprised this did not main event. This actually was in the middle of the show. Was very surprised it did not main event. But when we get to the main event, you'll understand why. It was a cinematic match. I'm going to say this right now. I'm done with these cinematic matches now. I'm not going to lie. I'm really getting sick of cinematic matches. It's getting to the point where it's becoming like the Charlotte Flair of WWE. It's getting overexposed, We're doing too much of it. I don't mind seeing cement matches from time to time, but it seems like they have to include one in every pay-per-view now. You don't have to. Cole and Velveteen Dream could just been a regular match on NXT Takeover. Just regular one-on-one match. But it's like they had to include a cinematic feature. And the Backlog Brawl, again, for the match for it was fine. Like, my only gripe is I wanted the spotlights all over the place kind of almost blinded me. It was really hard to see some of the match. And then for the Backyard Brawl itself, I kind of wish they did a little bit more with the cars. I expected more use of like the cars and the vehicles around, but they didn't. Maybe I was just thinking a backstage brawl or something like that, but this is a backlot brawl. Expected more use of the cars. They brawled a little bit, Unspare came out, tried to help out, threw a pile of chairs, and what's his name? I forget his name. Samuel Shaw's character. Dexter Lumis, thank you. So Dexter Lumis came out. He came at the Undisputed Era, put him in a car, and he drove off with them. So it was one-on-one for the remainder of the match. And Cole ended up low-blowing Velveteen Dream, hits a Panama Sunrise on a pile of chairs, and wins. So I think it's confirmed. I think we can confirm this now. Velveteen Dream, I think, is going to the main roster, which, whether we like it or not, I do not like it. Velveteen Dream is going to get called to the main roster. I think that is a foregone conclusion after this match. Because when they came to this match, if Velveteen Dream won, honestly, he was not going to get called up. But I said that if he were to lose, I think the rumors are true he's going to be called up. And I think he's getting called up. But here's the thing now. With Dream gone, more likely gone, he's not getting another title shot. Who's Adam Cole face? And this is where I kind of go back to the Gargano situation. Gargano, I think, should have won the North American Championship. Because the only other person that's a top babyface at this point that could fight Adam Cole for that championship is Keith Lee. I don't think Adam Cole's fought Keith Lee yet on TV. I know he's probably fought a few house shows, but he's beaten Finn Balor. He's beaten Gargano. He's beaten Ciampa. He's beaten Velveteen Dream. He's beaten Matt Riddle. He's beaten Jonathan Dijakovic. He's beaten them all. And plus, Matt Riddle, Jonathan Dijakovic are up to the main roster. They're on the main roster. And so, Timmy Thatcher, he's a heel. Karrion Kross is clearly a heel. So, with that Cole retains, like, who is he really defend? Who is he going to defend the title against? Now, they could get Keith Lee the title off of him, like on NXT TV. They could do that. But I honestly think Keith Lee should have lost. And I think they should have built a Keith Lee Adam Cole match. And have Keith Lee get his moment, finally take the title off Adam Cole. Sorry about that, my phone. I guess people don't know how to watch my programs when they know I'm live. So, like I said, like they should have done Keith Lee and Adam Cole and have Keith Lee win the NXT Championship, and then maybe they eventually built to a Karrion Kross and Keith Lee match for the NXT Championship. Now, a lot of people say, well, they can always do Karrion Kross versus Keith Lee. They could for the North American Championship, but at the same time, knowing Karrion Kross, he's going to be in the main title picture. They're not going to put him in the mid card. The guy's over. The guy is a beast. They're going to put him in the main event scene very quickly. But the problem is, Adam Cole right now is a heel. So it'll be a heel versus heel dynamic, and it doesn't make any sense. So that's why I was suggesting maybe Velveteen Dream should have won, and then Dream could have dropped the title to Karrion Kross, but obviously that's not going to happen. So the next logical choice would have been had Keith Lee lose so that he could fight Adam Cole next to take the title off him, but they're not going to do that either. Again, not yet. I mean, they have NXT TV. They can always have Keith Lee drop the title on TV. So they can still do Keith Lee and Adam Cole, maybe. But I really doubt they're going to have a champion versus champion match at Takeover. I mean, really, they're realistically asking, besides Keith Lee, who is a top face, a top guy in the company that could actually be considered to face someone like Adam Cole? Dexter Lumis? I mean, he's been getting TV time, but he's nowhere near that level yet. He's nowhere near the main event level yet. He's still developing his character. He's still developing his in-ring work. Finn Balor, and Adam Cole, I guess they could have another match. But technically, Finn Balor's more like an anti-hero, I guess, like a tweener. I mean, you could do Cole and Balor, have Balor win the championship back. Because, Gargano did cost Balor the match. So I guess you could build up Finn Balor and a Adam Cole rematch at TakeOver and have Finn Balor win, and then you can do Finn Balor, Karrion Kross. But besides Finn Balor, who else really? Besides Balor and Keith Lee, who else is there really? Ciampa? They're not going to do Ciampa and Adam Cole again, I'll tell you that. Ciampa just lost to Karrion Kross. He's got a long ways to go. Okay, like Damian Priest, he's not going to fight Adam Cole. He just lost. He's a heel. So, on one hand, the title scene for the mid-card and main event scene is stacked, but at the same time, it's also very limited. They're very limited. And with Matt Riddle, Dante Dijakovic, and possibly Velveteen Dream being called up to the main roster, which is three of some other bigger baby faces, now they're starting to lack baby faces. And with Gargano heel now, it's going to be harder. Again, Dexter Lumis could be that next big star, but again, he's still developmental. He's not ready for the main event scene yet. He's not ready to fight Adam Cole yet. Now, maybe he could go after the mid-card title first, maybe. But clearly they're doing Dexter Lumis in the Undisputed Era feud. I just don't see Dexter Lumis and Adam Cole feud. I don't see it right now. It's too soon. So that's where my gripe is. I try and think about this stuff. I'm trying to think ahead of time, and like I said, unless they bring some other big name, or there's some sort of name I'm not thinking of right now, I can't think of anybody else who could fight Adam Cole if it's not only two people. Keith Lee, if he were to drop the championship right now, or Finn Balor. But yeah, Finn Balor's kind of 50-50 because they did have a match already. Keith Lee and Adam Cole, I don't think they ever had a one-on-one match on TV. But again, Keith Lee's the North American champion. That's why I thought if he dropped a Gargano, then it would be easy to do Keith Lee and Cole. And you could build Keith Lee and Karrion Kross for the title there down the road. So it's really hard. This scene's hard. So because of WWE reigning the talent once again, they have to build from scratch. So I guess they're going to try to build Dexter Lumis as a tweenerish babyface. So that means NXT's got to push really hard to start getting some more guys on there, even if they're not like top breed guys, and build them up into those top stars. Because right now, people say, oh, it's stacked, but at the same time, it's also very limited. When you really think about it. So speaking of Karrion Kross, Karrion Kross versus Tommaso Ciampa. This match was 6 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of expected maybe at least 15. But again, they're building Karrion Kross off. He had the entrance with Scarlett Bordeaux, which, by the way, Scarlett, goddamn. But Karrion Kross is a star. He's going to be NXT champion very soon. That's prediction. I might even say he might be NXT champion before the end of the year. That might be a safe bet. But he beat Ciampa. I mean, Ciampa got some offense in. It wasn't like a 6-minute squash match. It was a 6-minute fight. But at the end of the day, Karrion Kross won, which was the right outcome. You can't have Kross lose as first takeover. You can't do that. This guy, from the entrance, his music, you can't do that. you had to give him the win here. And putting him up against a guy like Tommaso Ciampa, who's one of the faces of the NXT brand, having Karrion Kross just almost completely destroy him, sends a message now that Kross is something to not take lightly. This guy's here to kill everybody. This guy is a killer. He's going to hurt people. You know, people might start comparing to basically NXT's version of Brock Lesnar, except probably better. Because he got to actually go out there for a lot longer, not sweat, and do more than just fucking suplexes. But he ended up winning by submission, by technical submission with the cross jacket, and that was it. Ciampa lost. He passed out. Now they could do a rematch. That they could. Like I said, I think they should have done Keith Lee, Adam Cole for NXT Championship, and I would have done Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross. Have Karrion Kross fight Finn Balor and beat Finn Balor. That way, that's 2 former NXT champions he beats on Takeover. So that's 2 huge wins to get him closer to eventually find Keith Lee. But the 2 behemoths go at it, and it's a hard-hitting match. And Karrion Kross eventually wins the title from him. That's how I personally would have booked it, but now with Dream getting called up and Keith Lee retaining, it's a lot harder now. Because now they have to build these guys up. They have to build some new faces. Like I said, we don't even know when Keith Lee's going to be on NXT. You hear rumors that Vince is interested in Keith Lee, so he could be called up tomorrow for all we know. I mean, yeah, he's the champion, but they can always have him be stripped of the championship. We don't know when these guys are going to get called up. So, Karrion Kross wins, which was the right outcome. Not going to complain about that. Next, we have Io Shirai, Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship Triple Threat. First of all, big balls to put these women in the main event. Knowing the 7-minute match with the backlog brawl, I figured that would be the main event. Then when I thought about it, I was like, they're not going to put them in the main event. I thought Kross and Ciampa maybe, but then that was only 6 minutes. So then they did this triple threat match, and now I understand why they put us in the main event. I want to say this right now. This was not the best women's match of all time. In my opinion, you're never going to top Bayley Sasha Banks. The closest you're going to top to that Brooklyn match is probably Becky and Charlotte from Evolution. Which that is still the best main roster women's match, but only second women's match of all time to Bayley Sasha Banks. You're never going to convince me. This match I thought was very good, but there were I've seen a lot of slip-ups from everybody. I would say more on Charlotte. I think there was a little bit more on Charlotte. More slip-ups on Charlotte. I think I might have noticed that. This is not me just picking on Charlotte, because you know how I feel about Charlotte, overexposure on the roster. I'm sick of her to death. But I just noticed there's a lot more mess-ups with Charlotte. But everybody had their kind of own little spots they kind of messed up on. So I would say the first third of the match, they really were kind of botching a bit or trying to get the move up. But then once the second act, third act came, then they started getting their mojo back. It was still a very good match. It's just, I think it would have been a lot better if the sequences were a lot better. They were more fluent. There was less botching in the first act of the match. You know, they brawled everywhere. They brawled in a housing area on the set. They threw Io Shirai into the window. Io jumped off on the top of the roof and crossed by on Rhea and Charlotte. And then the ending happened. And I kind of taught this to myself when I was watching Saw Monsters review, talking about Io Shirai should win the Women's Championship by pinning Charlotte. And I told myself, think about this. I actually said this out loud. I'm going to protect Charlotte's going to lock in the figure 4. We're going to try to lock in the figure 8 onto Rhea. And before Rhea's going to tap, Charlotte is going to get hit with the Io Shirai moonsault, and then she pins Charlotte that way to become women's champion. I was almost right. They did that spot, but instead it was a moonsault to Rhea. But the problem was this moonsault, Io Shirai's knee hit Rhea Ripley in the head. It sucked. Yeah, she clearly landed her head. I understand it was an accident, but that sucked. But she ended up pinning Rhea because Charlotte couldn't get out of the match. She couldn't get out of the hole. She was stuck. So Io Shirai is the new women's champion. First of all, two things. First of all, thank God Charlotte's not champion. Her title reign sucked. And there was no reason why Charlotte should be on NXT whatsoever or holding that title. Being Rhea Ripley was a huge mistake. They clearly did that to try to get Reigns, and it did not work. They was like, you know what? Fuck this. Get the belt off of Charlotte. And two, Io Shirai is finally NXT Women's Champion, rightfully deserved. Me personally, I didn't care who won as long as Charlotte didn't walk out champion. If Rhea would have won, great. But if Io won, great for her. She finally wins her championship. And they gave it to Io. That Io had a celebration with confetti everywhere. That thing got swamped with confetti when highlights got done. Like, that ring was swarmed with confetti. I felt, my first thought was, well, all those NXT talent are going to have a lot of shit to clean up. Good luck. You're going to clean some shit up. So that place got filled with confetti. But, Charlotte is no longer champion. I pray to God she doesn't get a rematch for that title. Do not give her a rematch. I want her off my NXT. Go to Raw. Go to SmackDown. I don't care. Stay away from my brand. Okay? We have a lot of great women, a lot of future stars. We don't need Charlotte. We don't need you. Io Shirai is champion right now. Great. Io should fight other women that are on the brand. Have them fight Dakota Kai, Tia Nox, Rhea Ripley. There's way more better talent on NXT right now. We don't need Charlotte. Charlotte could go back to Raw or SmackDown, because personally, Raw and SmackDown, they need Charlotte more at this point. NXT does not need Charlotte. So I was happy just from Charlotte Flair losing alone. And then Io was like, you know what, that's very nice. So now I understand why they had this as the main event, because they wanted to leave on a good ending. They left on championship, a new champion, which she was the only champion to win, the new champion we had on the show. So when I looked at the show, I thought it was good. But I think everyone will agree this was easily one of the weaker takeovers as a whole. I thought the 6-1 tag was a basic TV match. Nothing else. I thought Finn Balor and Damian Priest, I thought was a kick-ass match, even though it was a lot shorter than I thought it would be. But hey, they got a good amount of time. They made the most of it. Keith Lee Gargano, I thought, again, that was good, but they told more of a story rather than actually doing more of what we expect these two to have. So I'm hoping they have a rematch. Call of Dream, again, it was a fine match for what it was. Cinematic match, but they really need to lay off the cinematic matches now. I'm kind of getting sick of them now. So I hope we don't see that for Backlash. If we don't see that for Backlash, that's automatic thumbs up. That's an automatic, like, a point there. I'm done with these cinematic matches now. Cross and Ciampa, again, short, but it was physical. So I thought it was fine for what it was, and they got Cross a victory, and I thought the main event was very good. Again, besides the botching the first act of the match, the last two acts they really deliver, except for when Io basically knocked out Rhea, which on one hand it sucked, on the other hand it was more realistic. I mean, if you just land on somebody's stomach, it might knock the wind out of you, but what makes more sense? You landing stomach first onto somebody else's stomach to get a victory, or landing on your opponent's head with your knees, basically knocking him out. I'm not saying that, Io should have done that, but I'm just saying, realistically, that's a more effective way in a match. So I thought this was good. Again, I thought this was a good takeover. Portland was 100,000 times better. I would say this was a good show. But again, there has never been an NXT takeover that has been bad. So I want to clarify. Just because this show was good, or maybe one of the weaker shows, that doesn't mean the show was bad. Yeah, we've seen, in my opinion, there are shows that are probably weaker than this, but they were still good. So this match wasn't terrible. This card wasn't bad. This show was not terrible. It was not bad at all. It was good, but we have seen way better takeovers. So if I agree, I'd probably give it like a 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was a solid, good show. Nothing great, but nothing below average either. So I thought it was a very good, solid show. Not the best, but good enough. It was watchable. I think that's a fair, fair argument to say it was a fair, solid show. But that's going to do it for In Your House for NXT Takeover. I don't know when the next NXT Takeover show is. There will probably be a Backlash review. If it's not uploaded on next Sunday, we'll have to wait and see. I do plan to try to do a Takeover or a W Backlash, I should say. God, I can't talk today. That'll probably be the next review. I don't know when the next Q&A will be. Maybe sometime this week. We'll have to wait and see. Backlash, they'll probably be more likely a review for that. Other than that, I don't know what other content I'm going to be doing. So, but again, tell me, comments down below. Tell me what you think about the show. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Would you thought was match of the night? What are your thoughts about the show? Give me your honest thoughts and tell me reasons why or why you didn't like the show or why you liked it. Yeah, I thought it was good, but definitely one of the weaker shows. So other than that, have a good night. Take care of my peeps.